Joseph's father has just died, and Joseph is so saddened by all that has happened that he throws himself upon his father and he begins to weep uncontrollably. Almost 40 years prior, Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers. And it was all because they believed that Jacob loved Joseph more than Jacob loved them. In this jealousy, it turned into hatred. In this hatred, it turned into rage. And in fact, the brothers, they were going to kill Joseph, but the oldest brother says, no, we can't do that. So instead, they sell Joseph off to some Ishmaelite traders. But they have a problem to deal with. They need a cover-up story. So they take Joseph's coat, a coat of many colors, a coat that Jacob had given him because he loved him, and they shred this coat to pieces, and they dip it into some goat's blood, and then they take it back to their father, making their father believe that wild animals had killed his son. And it was in that moment that the father had to experience something that no parent should ever have to experience, and that's the loss of a child. And for almost 40 years, Jacob believed that Joseph was dead, and he lived with that pain. And for almost 40 years, Joseph was denied the love of his father. He couldn't feel the love of his father because of what his brothers had done to him. But as fate would have it, his brothers would have to leave their homeland because of famine and travel down to Egypt, and they would cross paths with Joseph. And Joseph would learn that his father was still alive and sent for them, and they would have a short time left together. But this short time, it would never make up for those 40 years that had been lost. Now, after Jacob dies, after Joseph's father dies, the brothers begin living in fear. They're wondering to themselves, what is Joseph going to do to us? You see, Joseph has nothing to lose at this point. He has a wife, he has kids, he has all the power you could ever want in the land of Egypt. His brothers have nothing to give him. He has nothing to lose if he takes his wrath out on them. So the brothers know this, and they fall before Joseph's feet, begging for mercy. And Joseph says, stop. What you meant for harm, God used for good. Now listen. I'm not only going to take care of you and your children, I'm going to take care of you and your children's children. And it's in this moment that we see an image of a man who truly understands the God who desires mercy and not sacrifice. A man who understands what it is to love your enemies. And it's the worst kind of enemies. It's the enemies that were supposed to love you and didn't, and instead chose to harm you. May you be reminded of the words of Jesus this week. Love your enemies. Bless those who curse you, and pray for those who persecute you.